start with an opening statement from Coach.
Yeah, feel very fortunate and blessed to advance. We're excited about the opportunity tomorrow. Have a lot of respect for Gino. I don't know if how many of you guys know, but I'm from Ohio. He's from Ohio, and he's an absolute high school legend. For a while, he was the all-time leading scorer in the history of the state of Ohio. He was Mr. Basketball my senior year. A little bit starstruck when I met him in person recently, and he told me he scored all those points because I think he played for his dad. His dad let him shoot it every single stinking time he shot it. But he's a very, very good coach. They've had a rough run of it in terms of injuries. You know, they lose one of their better guards, lose one of their better transfers early on. And just to have his guys fighting late in the season, I think says a lot about him. So tip of the cap to them. And, I think our guys did a good job defending. You look at the defensive stats, and they speak to that, but the eye test did as well. I'm looking forward to watching the tape and then turn the page to the winner of this game.
All right, if you have questions in the room, please raise your hand. We'll get you the microphone. If you have questions on Zoom, please use the hand raise feature. I'll go first to Dave.
Coach, could you address the hot start? You guys jump out of the gun, 22-2 run. What were the keys early on just to getting such a jump on them?
Yeah, we have a very mature team. I've said that many times this year. And typically as a coach, when you're coming off a game, when you beat a team like, we beat them by a very, very wide margin at our place about a week ago. And you worry a little bit about complacency, right? The attention to detail and scouting report and thinking, hey, we just beat these guys by a big margin, it's going to be easy. And our guys didn't do that. Came right out of the gates and made some shots, got a bunch of stops, and built a nice lead to start. So ball went in, and we were stringing stops together, and I think that's what led to it.
Questions in the room? In back? And then John.
Coach, kind of going off that, when you open the tournament against the team that you just played, easy, difficult kind of game plan against the team that you just played?
Yeah. Like I said, I think the difficult thing is, your guys' mindset, and they were unbelievable in preparation. Those two guards are really, really good. One kid had 30 last night, kid 14, can give you 30 as well. The big kid, the transfer from Stanford, is a load. They bring, the 6'11" shooter off the bench, and they have a couple good young guards. We knew we had to be on it in terms of defending their scheme, and I think our guys did a good job.
Before we get to further questions, if you're recording on Zoom, please do not stop and start the recording for questions as it plays in the press conference room. Go to John in the back.
Hey, Coach. John Titel from Hoops HD. Your 29th win of the season today ties the school record, which was set back in the Trans-America days before Ante was even born. I know you haven't hoisted a postseason trophy yet or made the tournament or anything, but is it start to at least consider this team as one of the best in school history and or this conference?
That's for another time. That's for a couple months from now when hopefully my boss, Matt Roberts, lets me maybe go to the beach for a day or two with my wife and drinking a cold Corona, and I can think about that. But right now, it doesn't even cross my mind. But when you mention that, the name that comes to mind is John Kress. John Kress is, you talk about Gino Ford being a legend in Ohio. John Kress in Charleston, you kidding me? He's like an institution. It's like reverence when you say his name. And, for our team to be mentioned in the same sentence as one of his teams is a heck of an honor.
Questions in the room? In front of Matt.
Matt Truckanay with Herb FM Sports Radio. We're just talking about your defense and everything. How do you held Stony Brook to only 52 points?
Yeah, the Policelli kid had 30 last night, made 6 or 7 threes, and he is, needs zero space to get his shot off, and he was a big focus of the scouting report, and I thought we did a good job of making his looks really, really tough. I felt Stevenson Moore is another guy, as I mentioned before, that can really, really heat up. He was the second guy that we really focused on. And then the big kid, 32 inside, and I thought we did a good job on all three of them.
Any further questions? One more in back. In back, then Kyle.
This may have been the case last year when you came up here to D.C., but just the representation kind of looked like our city north. What can you say about the representation out there?
Shame on me for not mentioning that sooner. Many of you know about our venue back in Charleston. In my mind, it's become one of the best college basketball atmospheres in the country. The last 3/4 of the year, every seat has been sold out. We refer to it as the six-man. It's TD Arena, touchdown. It's another story, but and it's been an unbelievable atmosphere every single night. And to see the portable six, as I like to call it, people making their way up 95 or whatever to get here and create an atmosphere here, and I'm sure there's even be more showing up tomorrow. So we got some of the best fans in college basketball, and that was on display tonight.
Dave, last one.
Question for Ante. Could you address what was working for you this evening and how important it was for you guys to get the effort that you did this evening?
Yeah, I thought we did great job defensively coming into the game, as Coach said. 22-2 run. We were really on defensive end, doing great stuff. We were talking about in scouting, controlling defensive rebound, playing hard on offense, distributing the ball, ball movement, taking good shots. So I think we overall played a really good game against a very talented team. You know, it doesn't really matter the game before how the game ended. So yeah, we're looking forward to game tomorrow. Got to get some rest now, and yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
I had the raise hand function up.
Didn't show up. It didn't show up for me. Scott, we'll get to one from you, and then we'll wrap up.
Sounds great. It's just for both of you. When you look forward, this is your first delve now into tournament play. It's turn around and do it again tomorrow. I guess for Ante, I mean, this is your first time playing in March. This is March Madness. Is it what you expected it to be? And what are your kind of like reactions to now? This is March. It's survive in advance.
Yeah, it's a dream come true for me. Honestly, like a year ago this time, I couldn't imagine myself being here. So it's just a blessing. I thank God every day for it. I have amazing people around me, great team, great coaches who believe in me, and that really matters to me a lot. And like I said, I'm just blessed to be a part of this journey that we have here. I can't thank everybody enough. It's the team effort that we give every day, and I'm just trying to be a little piece of it, and I'm just grateful for it.
Did it feel like pressure or anything different walking out there for the first time, knowing that it's win or go home?
I wouldn't say it's a pressure, but those games, it's just you cannot afford to have a bad day at this point. It's a long season. We did the great stuff, but it's just these games when you cannot have a bad day. So I think we did a really good job of staying on top of our business today, and I think we hope we can do that tomorrow too, and on Tuesday. My bad.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
That's one hell of a team over there. I mean, they are really, really, really good. I think that if they, can get hot at the right time here in March and stay hot, those guys could get to a Sweet 16 and Elite 8. I mean, they've got a lot of depth. I thought our guys really competed hard. We got off to a horrible start, which was a lot to do with them. And then we settled in, and we were able to, the last 12 minutes of the first half was 22-20 us. We were hoping that we could come out and make the first run and get it under 10 and put them under some game pressure, and they did a great job at the start of the second half, and obviously, it got up to 20. But proud of our guys. There's no shame in losing to them. There are going to be a lot of people at the end of the year that look back and say they lost to Charleston.
Questions in the room? Harvey, and then Kyle.
Coach, what were they doing in the first half, especially at the start, to keep you guys off the board?
Well, they have such great pace and speed. We were trying to send 5 guys back and not even offensive rebound because we felt like, we'll get 2 or 3 of them, but it's going to lead to 15 transitions with odd number advantages for them. They just get it downhill, and they play with pace. And the other thing is they don't have a weak link. The only guy out there that you're not worried about that's going to hit a jumper is Scott, and he might be their MVP because he's an elite passer. He's the best defensive guy one-on-one that we have faced all year. And, he is elite. You can't dribble the ball around him. And he's big and strong, and he's tough. He's fantastic. I mean, it's weird to say it, but, I mean, guy averaged whatever 3-4 points a game. He's the key to them, in my opinion, because he just makes everything go. He doesn't force anything, and I just think the speed that they played with got us on our heels, and we did a terrible job taking care of the ball. We had 7 turnovers in the first 8 minutes. And then we had 5 the last 32. So, we're turning it over, which is letting them get downhill, and that's how they like to play anyway. So I think it was just the pace they were able to play at.
Kyle.
If for Keenan, seemed like you were pretty aggressive on offense. You made some nice hook shots, had the spin move on the baseline for the dunk. Was there something in particular you felt like you could kind of attack with them tonight?
I think that every night going out there, try to be aggressive, and the coaches and my teammates have confidence in me, and just try to go be confident every night. I think there's going to be a lot of work in this offseason to be ready for this next year to have a different result, but just trying to be confident and aggressive every night.
And from a player perspective, what is it about this Charleston team that's kind of made them, pretty successful? It seemed like you guys were playing really well in stretches, and they were just kind of answering.
They've got a lot of depth. They play really fast. There's a reason why they've been so successful throughout the year, down the line. They're a challenge to play against.
I'm going to go to Zoom and Jerry.
Hey, Gino. Obviously, as you said, Charleston's really good. For you guys, playing twice in 24 hours, is there an effect that you saw today, or is that inconsequential given, like you said, how solid Charleston is?
Well, it's an issue for us. I mean, we have a very short rotation. For the year, if you look through every game we've played, we averaged having 8 guys available in most games, which means we had 5 guys out on a nightly basis for our 33-game season. So the minutes that guys are logging is brutal. We were 1-9 coming into today on 1-day rest. And so I didn't really think 0-day rest would be better than 1-day rest. I'm not real smart, but I was concerned about that. And we just don't have the depth, in terms of healthy bodies. And the minutes, Fitz is 7 feet. He routinely has games of 30-plus minutes, which, most 7-footers don't do that. Tyler was leading the universe in minutes played until he got hurt at William & Mary. He was first in the country in minutes played. So, there's a cumulative effect. And listen, that's not why we lost. We could play Charleston, in a week from now and have a week to get ready, and they're going to have a big advantage. They're just really, really good. And I was proud of our guys because we could have put the white flag up the mast and given in, especially the way the game started. And I just thought that we kept battling, and the attitudes and effort of our guys was really commendable. I mean, we didn't win a championship, obviously, but I thought we had a championship year from a leadership standpoint with Tyler and Frankie and the other guys, saying and doing the right things on and off the court. So proud of our guys. It's made a big step up in conference. I know this is the longest answer you've ever heard, but I got some stuff I want to say. So, it's a huge step up in competition, enormous, from where we were. And 4 teams came in. We were able to, make the longer run in the tournament than the other new schools, something hopefully we can build on. But we've got to get better. We had a winning record against teams seeded 5 and down. We were 0 against the teams in the top 4, and we had a 1-possession loss to Hofstra in there that we could have won, and we kind of gave away at the end of the game. But most of them were kind of 10-pointers. Towson got us 10, Wilmington got us 7 and 10. So we weren't terribly far off, but there was a gap. We kind of slid in that middle, with the league. So I'm proud of our guys because it was not easy. I mean, you sign up to play in one league, and then you go to a league where the guys are bigger, faster, stronger, and you guys all watch the game. You look out there. Luckily, it wasn't a UFC battle. I mean, we don't have a lot of guys bigger than the guy they're matched up with. So, give them a lot of credit. I really like their team, and I said it yesterday. They absolutely should be in the NCAA tournament. Regardless of what they do tomorrow and Saturday, you win 29 games. You got that kind of depth. If the committee is paying attention and watching games, they know that's an NCAA team. If they want to, just look and say, let's get as many teams from the Big Ten in as we can, then that happens, and that'd be the only concern. But I hope they get in because they can do some damage.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.